Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. We are out on the lake. There is a lake right behind me. I am on my jet ski, and today we're going to be doing a camera review, something that I have not done in a long time. Today we are reviewing one of my favorite ever SLR film cameras. This is none other than the Leicaflex SL. Mine is the MOT version, the motorized, where you can add a motor. I obviously don't have a motor attached, but this is the Leicaflex. This in particular is one of my favorite cameras just because of how simple it is to use. You have your rewind lever, you have your shutter speeds all the way from bulb, from 1 second, 2 seconds, 4, all the way up to 2000. And then all you have is your winder here. Mine has the built-in meter. All of them do, but it's like 1 in a million chance of having a actually working meter. Mine has been serviced quite a few times so that the meter is current and working with the actual batteries. The reason it's my favorite is just because how easy it is. You don't have to think about anything, just point and shoot. That's all there is. Like with some of the newer, fancier cameras, the fancier it is with the autofocus and the this and that, you kind of start to forget just framing and taking the picture. Like all the other features and the metering and this and that is super cool, don't get me wrong, but what's more important for me is just to be able to frame everything the way I want to and just take the picture. Everything else, all the other fancy gadgets and gizmos and this and that, just for me take away from the actual photo experience, which is why I enjoy this camera. Not only that, it sounds really good. Like, let's take a picture for you. One of the silkiest, quiet cameras I use. In addition to just how simple the camera is, it is extremely reliable, especially in my case. I've had it for going on 6 years now. I've sent it off twice to be serviced. Well, technically once. The person before me had it serviced, and then I sent it off to get serviced. And it's been flawless. I mean, super reliable. I know 100% of the time I can grab the camera and go. It does have the battery, but the battery is solely for the meter. So this works from all the way from bulb to 2000, 1/2000th of a shutter speed completely mechanically using springs and fancy gadgets and gizmos. All the secret stuff inside the camera, so you don't even need the battery. So you literally pick it up, slap a Leica R-mount lens on it, and you're good to go, which works perfectly. Mine has been calibrated for the battery just when I use the light meter to make sure that my exposure is correct, and I've verified that it is pretty close, especially when shooting slide film like I often shoot with this thing. Additionally, there are a few different models of the original Leicaflex SL. There is one that has multiple position levers. So mine is hot all the time, meaning if you don't have a lens cover or a cap for the camera, it is always metering all the time. So you got to make sure you cover it. Otherwise, you're going to drain your battery. The version I had before this, because this is my third Leicaflex, I had all three at the same time. And the other two versions would meter only when you had your position lever in this position. So when you're ready to meter, slide the position lever like this, get your settings right, shoot, wind, and you're ready again. Mine's ready all the time, so I've been getting lazy. If I'm photographing something pretty quick, I still got to get in this motion just so I can be ready to rewind and fire. Unlike Soviet cameras and some German cameras, I guess, you can change the shutter speed before winding. Don't know why you'd want to. It's a very bad habit to get into, especially if you ever try and shoot a Soviet camera. You'll break it the first time you take a picture. So I still shoot, rewind, then change shutter speed. Force a habit with all the Soviet cameras I shoot. This camera has one of the single best viewfinders I've ever used on any camera ever. The brightest, the most clear. When I look into it and when I focus, you know 100% what's going to be in focus and what's not. It is like crystal clear, crystal sharp. One of the best viewfinders I've ever used. I have never shot up Hasselblad, so I don't know if this is just a Leica thing or maybe Hasselblad's better, but the best SLR, and well, of any camera I have shot, but I shoot cheaper cameras. So the best viewfinder, super clear, super bright, you can focus super easily. One other great feature with this camera. It does have a little dial here that indicates how many frames you have. Super spot on, super right all the time. There is a single button here right next to the nameplate. Sorry, it's backlit, you can't see nothing. There's a button here on the mirror dome box, which actuates the actual metering needle that goes up and down. When you push it, it's just to see whether the battery's dead, which happens once every 2-3 years for me anyways, because I don't really use the camera super often, just because it's an expensive camera for me anyways. So I shoot it pretty regularly, but if the weather's bad, if it's gonna rain, this camera stays at home. If I'm gonna be doing something where I could drop it, break it, damage it, camera stays home. So if I'm walking through the park with the dog, I'll bring it. But if I'm going rock climbing at a state park, nah, this camera stays home, and I'll swap it for my Zenith. But other than that, I absolutely love this camera. It is one of my first picks when I go to grab a camera from my shelf. If not this, then I'll grab the Leica R6 for same scenario. Not dropping, not breaking, walker on camera. Otherwise, this is neat. Not that I don't love the camera, but it's more rugged. Granted, this is a precision instrument versus the other cameras are more of battering rams. So hope this review was helpful of the Leicaflex SL. And let's hear that shutter just one more time, the glorious shutter.